Hello and welcome back to the video on the Football Zone and to a previewing the first games of the new year, first full game week at Premier League and Championship action. Let's get straight into it. On the second with Premier League action, Brentford taking on Liverpool, and of course this is an interesting game. Brentford picking up a really impressive 2-0 win over West Ham. Liverpool just about scraping over line against Leicester, so both teams coming into this one onto a high. But yeah, Brentford of course missing Tony will be a big blow for them here, but Liverpool, I think, on the whole they're just a bit stronger, and I think I'm going to back them for a win here. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then to games on the third, Arsenal taking on Newcastle. And yeah, this is of course a very interesting game, one of Arsenal's toughest tests so far. Currently 9 points ahead of Newcastle with a game in hand, so yeah, you're definitely coming into this one as favourites with how well they're playing at the moment, especially as well. But Newcastle, obviously a slightly frustrating result against Leeds at the weekend, but write them off at your peril because we've seen so far this season what a strong side they are. But yeah, I am going to go for an Arsenal win here, but this definitely won't be an easy game for them, that's for sure. Moving on then to Everton as they take on Brighton at Goodison Park, and what a great result it was for Everton against Man City after a bit of a tough spell. Hopefully that's the confidence boost they need. Arsenal beating Brighton, but Brighton, they put up a bit of a fight. Could have easily been a different result, really, but in the end, Everton coming away with Arsenal coming away with a W. And Jared tees up a really interesting game here, which could go either way. I'm going to go down the middle and say this one will be a draw. I don't think there's too much separating these two sides. Moving on then to Leicester as they take on Fulham at the King Power. And this is an intriguing game. Leicester coming into this one off the back of 2 defeats in the trot, which is obviously not the ideal start for the Premier League season. But 2-1 defeat to Liverpool, I think there were positives to take. But Fulham coming into this one on the back of 2 wins on the trot, playing really, really well under Marco Silva, currently standing 7th. What a season they're having. So they'll be coming into this one full of confidence as well. So it's a game that you really feel could go either way. But I think with home advantage, I don't know, I feel like Leicester's results so far since the break has restarted has deserved more results. I think I'm going to head 2-0 to them. Moving on then to Manchester United against Bournemouth at Old Trafford. Manchester United flying along since the break, 2 wins on the trot. Bournemouth though, but they got 2 wins against Everton, didn't they, before the break, and it's said that their form really since they lost to Southampton all the way back in October has been awful, really. This is a game which you see Manchester United to win quite comfortably, and you can't do fear for Bournemouth. Their slide down the table could well continue. I'm predicting a comfortable home win. Moving on then to Southampton as they take on Notts Forest at St Mary's, and Southampton obviously came so close to that first winning game under Nathan Jones, but it wasn't quite meant to be against Fulham, just being edged out in the last minute. But for Southampton, they simply have to get something out of this game. For Forest as well, I think they simply have to get something out of these games. Because otherwise, you could quite easily see these two teams being almost cut adrift already. So I'm going to say draw here because I think it'll be a scrappy, cagey affair. But for both these sides, really, it is must win. Moving on then to Leeds as they take on West Ham at Elland Road. And Leeds coming into this one off the back of a loss in the draw, but they were against Man City and Newcastle, so 1 point from those two is respectable. Great point against Newcastle, so they'll be happy with that. But West Ham, I thought maybe the break would be the chance for them to get going again, but in the end it hasn't really panned out like that, has it? A really, really poor start to restart, and pressure is growing on them. They need to start picking up results, but Leeds do as well. I'm going to say it'll be a draw. I just can't call between these two, really. Moving on then to Aston Villa as they take on Wolves at Villa Park in a bit of a derby, Villa losing to Liverpool last night, which was a frustrating result. Wolves just being edged out by Manchester United as well, which of course they'll be disappointed by. Both these teams kind of coming into this one with something to prove, but Wolves still in peril in the relegation zone. Improvements even on the Lopetegui, but I think Villa at home may well just have too much for them here. I'm going to say the scoreline will be 2-0 to the Villa. Moving on then to Palace as they take on Tottenham at Selhurst Park. Palace coming into this one off the back of a 2-0 away win at Bournemouth, which was a really, really strong result. They played really, really well there. But Tottenham, still waiting for things to properly click at the moment under Conte. Kind of hasn't gone to plan idea recently, but I still think there is very strong potential in that Tottenham Hotspur team. So I'm going to say the scoreline will be 2-0 to Spurs in this one. I think they'll have enough to just about squeeze past Palace. Moving on then to the final game of the game week, and what a massive game this is. Chelsea taking on Manchester City at Stamford Bridge. And Chelsea, yeah, I mean, like, slowly but surely, after a tough run under Graham Potter, you do feel like they're improving. Man City susceptible to the odd really, really poor result, as we've seen with that draw against Everton, but yeah, we know how good they can be, so it's kind of a question of what side both these teams come up, but I don't think it'll be an easy game for Man City at all. I can see them being held again here. I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on into the Championship and starting off on New Year's Day with Blackburn taking on Cardiff. And yeah, Blackburn, after such a promising start to the season, it kind of does feel like many people expected that they are starting to fade away now. 11 points off the second, 3 losses on the trot, 4 in the last 5. So yeah, not quite going for plan at the moment for Blackburn really. And Cardiff, though, they're not doing much either at the moment. The draw specialist, it seems, but I think Rovers kind of will get back on track here. I can see them having a bit too much Cardiff. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then to Blackpool as they take on Sunderland at Bloomfield Road. And yeah, Blackpool coming into this one struggling, aren't they? Quite a few draws, but yeah, they need to start winning games. They haven't won a game since they beat Coventry all the way back in October, so yeah, that's a long time ago, isn't it? Sunderland, though, absolutely fine, 2 wins on the trot, and currently sat 4th in the table. What a return to the Championship they're having, maybe even dreaming of a Premier League return. I can see them having too much with Blackpool here. I'm going to say 2-0 win for Sunderland to keep their strong momentum going. Moving on then to Coventry as they take on Bristol City at the Ricoh Arena, and yeah, Coventry coming into this one off the back of the draw against Cardiff, maybe a slightly disappointing result. Things haven't quite fully clicked for them since the restart, which they'll be disappointed with after a good run before it. But Bristol City side got a decent point away at Millwall last time out, but pressure still is there on Nigel Pearson. That's definitely fair to say, I think. So yeah, I think Coventry will come into this one fancying their chances, and being at home, I can see them just staging out Bristol City 1-0. Moving on then to Huddersfield as they take on Luton at the John Smith Stadium, and Huddersfield 2 wins on the trot. Things are really starting to turn around for them now. 2 points off safety, got a game in hand on Rotherham. So yeah, maybe the great escape is happening. They were nowhere a few weeks ago, but they are coming into it, which is obviously a big relief for Huddersfield. But Luton under Rob Edwards really have picked up 2 wins on the trot. So yeah, 2 teams that are really starting to find momentum now, and it'll be interesting to see which way this goes. I can personally see it being a draw, but yeah, it's a game that you feel like with both teams in this form could go either way really. Moving on then to Millwall as they take on Rotherham at the Den, and Millwall going into this one on a kind of a mixed spell really. 3 draws, 1 win, 1 loss recently. So, it's kind of hard to know what Millwall you're going to get. But, they're still sitting in ninth, in and around the playoff contention. Rotherham, their form hasn't been great really, and they are definitely slipping into a relegation zone. So I think Millwall, if they want to start getting some consistent form, this is the sort of game they have to win. And I think they will do. I'm going to say it'll be 2-0 to them. Moving on then to Birmingham as they take on Middlesbrough at St Andrews, Birmingham coming into this one off the back of 2 losses on the trot, which obviously isn't good. Middlesbrough coming into it in the back of 2 wins on the trot, really starting to go forward now under Michael Carrick. I think it's fair to say he's doing an excellent job in there in the playoffs from where they were a few weeks ago. That's just an incredible return, so credit where it's due. And you'd have to be brave about him to bet against the continuing momentum here. I'm going to say it'll be 2-1 to Borough. Moving on to Norwich as they take on Watford at Carrow Road. Norwich coming into this one off the back of a draw against Reading, but before that, form hasn't been great, of course. Was a slight improvement under Alan Russell since Dean Smith got the sack, but wasn't major improvement, I'm not so sure. Watford, though, have lost 2 in the trot, and things don't seem to be going too well for Stubborn Beach at the moment either, so it's a good chance for both these sides to kind of get their momentum going again, I suppose. But yeah, I'm going to say it'll be a draw. I just don't think there's a lot of quality between 2 as I suppose the best teams in the league at the moment, really. Moving on then to Stoke as they take on Preston at the Bet365 Stadium. And Stoke coming into this one off the back of a 1-0 defeat to Burnley. Burnley weren't at their best, but at least they keep it reasonable against a team such good as Burnley. Before that, the form wasn't bad. Preston are losing 3 on the trot, not going well for them at the moment. They need to kind of find a turnaround in form, if you know what I mean. It'll be interesting to see which way this goes, because you feel like Preston's the best team, but they're probably not in the best form at the moment, so I'm going to say it'll be a draw, 1-1. Moving on into the Hawthorns and West Brom taking on Reading. This is an interesting game. West Brom absolutely flying at the moment, of course. 4 wins from the last 5 under Carlos Corban. What a remarkable turnaround since he came in. But Reading, 3 wins from their last 5, 1 loss in that 5. playing really, really well at the moment as well under Paul Ince. So yeah, it's a game which you kind of feel could go either way. But I think West Brom at home, Carlos Carwan, he's doing a really good job at the moment. I can see him having a bit too much for Reading, which is also such a thin squad. After such a packed schedule of games, I'm going to say it'll be a 2-0 win to West Brom. Moving on into Wigan as they take on Hull at the DW, so you got it out eventually. Wigan coming into this one off the back of 3 losses on the trot, not the best run of form at all, really, is it? And they're deep in the relegation trouble, but a whole great latest Stupinan goal obviously gave them a last time in the last game, and they're starting to pull away from now, but it's a game which I just really can't see too much quality, and I'm going to say it'd be a draw, 0-0 here for me. Moving on then to Swansea as they take on Burnley at the Liberty Stadium. And yes, Swansea coming into this one off the back of a 4-0 win against Watford, and after their poor run of form I think winless in the Championship before that, definitely came out lower, but taking on Burnley and the form there, and it's definitely the right time for that sort of result to come about, I suppose, really, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know. I still think Burnley going into this one as favourites, but Swansea definitely will have been given some hope. But I think Burnley are just so strong at the moment. I can't see any other result other than a away victory. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then to QPR as they take on Sheffield United at Loftus Road, and QPR coming into this one, off the back of a 3-0 loss to Luton, which really wasn't a very good result. And their form recently under Critchley has just been inconsistent, hasn't it? You never really know what QPR are going to get. 13th in the table, against Sheffield United side, they're obviously in such a rich vein of form at the moment, sitting in second. Playing so well, and look destined to the Premier League. I can see them just having a bit too much for QPR. I'm going to say it'll be 2-0. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, don't subscribe to my phone station for daily football news. Subscribe to my channel, and I'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.